Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Friends at Gameology, hosted by MoonlightCrew.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less. Boss Monster 2, the next level. Boss Monster 2 riffs off of popular culture video games and science fiction and fantasy and just cool movies and such. So, I mean, let me just point out right off the bat, and this is probably the only one I'll do because I don't want to spoil these for you. They're so cool to find. But Molly's boss is Smoak, like Smaug. The Dwarf Bane, like the Dwarf Bane, and it's a red dragon. And so you can find those fun little Easter eggs all over in this game. And like I said, I'm not going to point much more of those out because it's really fun to just be playing and be like, wait a second, this is from Lord of the Rings, this is from Star Wars. And so, you know, go ahead and just expect that and be pleasantly surprised by all the ones you see. In this game, everyone is assigned, a random boss, and you're playing as the boss, and you build rooms, and so I have the Barbarian Hall and the Spiked Pit, and as I build rooms, they go in front of my boss so that heroes, like the Thief, will go through my dungeon, and this number here of health has to whittle away at this number here of their health, and so I've got this attack number whittling down the heroes' hit points. If it kills them, I get the hero's soul, and if you turn them over, the easy heroes are worth 1, and the epic heroes are worth 2. And then I first to 10 wins, and so that helps me out. Whereas if I failed to kill him, he gives me a damage, and the harder heroes give 2 damages, 2 wounds, and so you can only take 5 of those before you're dead. So you got to be careful. Now, when these come out, this icon up here that means he's a thief versus that thief and that thief. Hilarious. They're all thieves. Thief.
It's ordinary.
All right, we've got a mage and a thief, and there's fighters and there's clerics. They will check against your icons down here. I've got a fighter and a thief icon to see whoever has the most if they're going to go to your dungeon or not. And so sometimes you'll want less so you won't get killed, but you'll want to have the most in other areas so that you'll lure the appropriate heroes to your dungeon. Simplicity versus complexity.
I would say this game is pretty simple. There is a lot of card text going on. Each room has its own card text on the bottom that does something different. But you only have to worry yourself with what you have in front of you, right? And so this is pretty simple. You have a finite amount of cards in your hand. You play a card, or you draw a room card, play a card, and the heroes come or they don't, depending on the icon. There's a little complexity we talked about, but nothing that you won't be able to play 1 or 2 turns and be just fine in understanding how to play. So I think it's pretty simple once you understand the icons and how they work.
This is a very simple game. After a single round of playing, you will get the flow of how it works. That doesn't necessarily mean it's simple to win, but it is simple to play. Luck versus strategy.
So I might take a different stance than Tom in this area. I think this game is super lucky. We've played multiple times, and I've seen a room card that has 4 hit points on it once, and Tom has seen him in every single game he's played, right? And so, have you ever lost?
Yes, I've lost.
Oh, when the first time you played, then I wasn't there. Not when I was there. So he's won when I've played with him. But yeah. So I think it's pretty lucky. This game is, but there's also some strategy. But there's so many different decks. There's 4 different decks here that you're pulling from, and so anytime you have cards randomly drawing from, you're going to have luck times 4 in this game. If I happen to put out a cleric and I have the most clerics and a cleric hero comes out and I can't beat it, or 2 cleric heroes come out, I have 2 damage automatically from the beginning, and so that's just really tough in there. But once like towards the middle of the game and end of the game, it's a lot more strategy than the beginning.
This game is very strategic. When I first played, I didn't think so, but as I kept playing, I realized I need to attract a certain kind of hero and be able to deal with a certain kind of hero, and that's where I start tuning my deck. Now, yes, you draw cards. You don't always get what you want, but what you do with what you have matters in this game. There are so many strategic choices to make, and all of them will affect the outcome of how you end up at fighting the heroes or losing to the heroes. Very strategic as to how you use your spells, because there's only 2 of them. You don't get to just draw these. You have to have a room card to help you draw them. And so they're precious, and you're going to be like, my precious. But they're precious. You're like, I only have 2 ever, unless I put out this kind of weak room card that could end up killing me. So there's a lot of strategy here. Fun versus boring. This game is super fun. When I first played, I did not think so. Repeated plays are what helped me understand just how awesome this game is. And so I say to you, if you have this game or think about it, give it more than one shot. I've played this game a lot now, and each time I've played it, I find more and more strategic depth and value to this game. That the first time I played, I was just like, boy, that was a whole luck fest. I can't believe you had 80 room cards in your hand. I had nothing. Whereas once I realized how that happened and the placement of the rooms and when to activate things and what heroes to try to go for, there's a lot of fun and strategy in this game, and I highly recommend it.
I'm gonna take it down a notch of the love fest that Tom has for Boss Monster
It is a
2.
love fest. I do love this game.
Like I said, I think this game is all right. I'm not a huge fan. I find it to be more lucky than not, and that's just super obnoxious because there's nothing I can do. I'm just gonna get all the heroes, and there's nothing I can do. Tom has all the cards to destroy all my rooms, and I just die. Right, so it's not a terrible game. I enjoy playing it.
It's not a terrible game. It's
But
an awesome game.
I won't suggest it. BGG rating, I would give this a 5.
Wow.
Maybe a 6.
Wow. I would definitely, I'm kind of wavering on 8 or 9. There's player elimination, so man, that really, I mean, as much fun as this is, player elimination does make me just kind of cringe sometimes. So I'm going to go with 8. Super fun game. 8. Want to play it. Yep.
Every time we get to multiples of 500 subscribers, we give away a free glitter painting of your favorite superhero icon, so make sure to subscribe now.
Because it could be you that wins.
Boss Monster to the next level. We've presented the evidence.
You be the judge.